What's going on, guys? Alec here from OzFury Gaming. Today we're going to be talking about the Eclipse, CCUs, and also the good all around the verse. So to start us off with, I was going to say the Eclipse has been going on for a bit, being quite secretive, and also too, it's going to be one of the last combat ships for a little while apparently. From Ben Lesnick saying the next couple, 3 or 4 ships are meant to be non-combat ships, which would be nice for a change. Now, the Eclipse, guys, is actually not a big ship. The image or videos here make it look like it's huge. It's only 21 meters long. The Aegis Sabre is 26. Now, not every single spec on the website is correct, but that's still, in my opinion, fairly accurate because they're fairly new ships. So talking about the website, guys, let's take a look at the top secret project, Eclipse. So I was having a look around because I was on the concierge, and the Eclipse is basically the latest UEE ship to be released that's of modern technology. So it's got a very high advanced targeting system and very stealthy engine. A $250 war bond, you get a serial number on the wing as well as liveries and a few other things. But what's important, guys, is it carries 3 size non-torpedoes in its frame, which is incredible. It really is quite a large vessel. When we look around and we look at the ship here, we can see that it's quite a wide ship though, and we can see where the engines sit as well as the missiles. So they're called stealth Cs technically there on those engines, so hopefully fairly stealthy. Now as we enter into the X-ray view, we can see on the front here where the cockpit is that there is just a single seat cockpit. I was hoping for like a multi-crew sort of ship, but oh well, you get what you get. As well as that, guys, we have obviously those torpedoes sitting there, as we can see, nice and compact, just right between the frame's edges there. Look at it, they're so snug fitting in there. Now the ship only carries size 2 fixed guns, so what I imagine would be Panther repeaters, and we can see them hidden in the wings, sort of just to the right and left of where the torpedoes are, right there. Next on the agenda, guys, was CCU. So basically what they're doing is they're taking CCUs and making it you have to melt your ship to buy another ship. So if you have an LTI on the Eclipse and you want to buy the Aquilia, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. Is this a good or a bad thing? It doesn't really worry me personally, but I can see a lot of people getting upset about it, and here they are talking about it again in the Spectrum forums. Now on to around the verse. So M50 Interceptor, guys, has been the first ship to actually be fully implemented with the sort of Item 2.0 selection. So as we can see here, they're playing around with it. It's really quite a cool thing to get done. Now, I might be asking why the M50 Interceptor. Well, as anyone who owns one or seen one will know that they're probably the most simplistic ship you can ever get, and that's their pure reasoning, and I can understand it. They're planning to basically take this and move it across to other ships. So the bigger ships, the Cutlasses, your Andromedas, your Polarises, and all that sort of stuff. As each ship comes along, they'll be able to copy, paste, add on whatever they need to for the fidelity of that ship. Now talking about ships as well in regards to working on them, here we have the old and new way of building ships and checklisting ships and things like that. Next on the agenda, guys, after this beautiful bit of piece here showing off how they do build it, is persistence. Now persistence, basically what they want to achieve is on the server, if you land a ship out on a moon or a planet, people will be able to come find it and steal the cargo off it, hack it, take it, whatever. Unless you go to a port and save it or whatever, it's the same thing. If you just drop out, you basically come back to where you were. So that was really cool to see that being done, as well as they've got other stuff talking about it. But go check out around the verse if you want to see more. Now, Item 2.0 as well is obviously bringing across landing requests. Now, this is going to be important for landing ships inside other ships. So this looks to be a Cutlass Black. In my opinion, Dragonflies will be sitting there, so that'll be nice to see. And what this will do for us is when you go to take your Ursa rover in or anything like that, as well as the P-52 Merlin on the Andromeda, it will allow the ships to not blow up or have the vessels, like your little vehicles, fall through, as can be seen here, because that would not be pretty. So also what to do with ships is quantum drives. Basically they're going to be working on the animation and the audio to make it more interesting and exciting, but also to make it more of not so much a simple thing. So they're going to be working on systems to make it more interesting in regards besides fuel. Now, to do with systems on ships as well, they've been working on automatic flying, so your thrusters and everything working the correct way they should. So this will work for not just NPC ships, but also for our ships if we decide to set coordinates and things, because I'd imagine you don't want to be flying all the time. But speaking about flying, here is the standard seat for the Aurora. It looks finished, because it is. They've basically got the Aurora nearly done, and here's the luxury seat for those Alex owners who are looking forward to that ship. So besides all this other cool stuff to do with ships, guys, the Terrapin is in grey box and animation work is completed for that grey box set. So they're going to be working on artwork for it now. And also too, they've been talking about how they've been working on inside systems for people outsourcing programs in and their own programs and integrating them into the software that's already there. So that leads us to software. This week they were showing off skeletal and muscular systems, showing how they'll be working in game, how the arms will pivot and legs will pivot and things like that. So that's really stuff that we won't be seeing but will be important for gameplay, because honestly it gets a bit frustrating when you see your mates running around on Port All-Stars, landing pads, and they're in that nice T position because the servers can't handle it. So, besides skeletal, they've been showing off character creation. They've only got males here, but they're showing off the eye color. And they talked a bit about how they want the eye color to be sort of like a pool of color that you can select instead of just straight set colors. As well as color for eyes, they have face structure and different skin tones being done here, which was really nice. So as we can see as I jump around, it'll be good to see that actually eventually come into the game, as well as with the female customization. So besides just the faces, they also were showing off sort of idle positions in the way they can just sort of chop and change the different skin tones and the faces and things like that. And I wanted to talk about too on the animation work for just idle alone. It doesn't just happen, it's not just simple to get it so fluid and nice. And hello Miles Eckhart, yes, that is your face. So after this as well, they had LODs. Now what is that? Basically LODs is the distance of, or level of distance or detail from distance. So they've basically created a tool to allow that sort of stuff to be done easier and more fluidly, and pipeline it a lot simpler so they can put it into the game quickly. As well as that, they've been working on tinting and lighting for the outposts to vary them up, which we'll talk about a bit more later because they actually had lighting in around the verse from the studios. But as you can see here, they're basically able to change the color, the temperature, and the brightness of lighting, so they'll become really interesting for different events. Now what's also interesting is they've got the medium marine armor suited up for females, and they've also got the heavy male outlaw armor suited up. Look at the arms. Notice how they've got like the rams here, so it's sort of like a half man, half robotic suit. As well as the armor there, they've been working on grey boxing for the OMC lights, the miners suits as well, working on them, getting them color tone, as well as they finished a concept for what looks to be like an infiltrator of a pyre or light armor sort of thing, which would be nice. After that too, they've been working on the casual female grey box, what that's going to be looking like. So now we move on to the lighting side, guys, from around the verse, where they take the studio section and they talk about what goes on with it. So on the forums and on Facebook and the guys I talked to, they reckon that this looks to be a Bengal engine, which I can't argue with. And also too, here is the sun shining off a planet or moon. Either way, it looks beautiful. After that too, they were showing off some of the outpost work, showing the different lighting and different ideas for what they want to have. So in the bottom left hand corner looks to be an emergency state, top right hand looks to be a full powered state, and the top left hand looks to be a dull state when no one's about. So this brings into how it's going to be reacting for different planets, different moons, different just environments in general, different day and time, how that's going to be working and what that'll do for us. And that's actually a really nice view in my opinion from that outpost. I would not be mad to have that outpost. So after there as well, we look at how they've been doing outposts with our character from a third person point of view. So this is not so much for the lighting as well. I want to point out something. As they walk up to these modules here, besides the fact it's a little bit jittery, but this is a rough build of the game. You can see that another outpost up there, which is nice. But look there, through that doorway, there is a mining section. So this brings hope to me that we'll still be mining for 3.0 in outposts, because they haven't actually confirmed it anywhere, but it was pre-confirmed. It might be coming 3.1, 3.2, but there it is again. So I'm really hoping that it does become a part of 3.0. So after that too, guys, they were showing off the fog work, how that comes along. So this is the old fog work, how they would put a light in and they basically color the fog to that light. Now with the new tech, they can basically put fog in there. It generates well, not a mass, but a form, and the light around it is altered by that form. Haven't quite got it right, as you can see with the shadowing and things like that. But what they have got right though is, check out this. How beautiful does that look there with that lighting effect? So I'm going to end it here, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and a comment if you want to say you liked it. Leave a dislike and a comment if you disliked it. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Catch you guys around the verse. Toodaloo.